starting off with their nutrition plan, whether it's to lose weight, build muscle, whatever it is, adherence starts to decline as the week progresses and then drastically declines over the weekend, only to then reset on a Monday.
One of my guys over the last month, his graph has plateaued off. And I scroll back through his nutrition graphs. Normally Monday to Thursday, sometimes Friday, all tracked. Saturday, Sunday, blank. Every weekend was blank. Nothing was being logged. So what we've seen is
when you've got these weekend warriors, change the question that you ask yourself, or how do I unwind from the week? You can change it to, how do I use the weekend to support my future self? I'm Ryan Stevens.
Dr. Taylor Waters.
I'm Ben Olliver.
Welcome to the Superhuman Show, yeah?
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Superhuman Show with your host, Ben Olliver, joined by Mr. Ryan Stevens and the Doc, PhD. I was going to say what your PhD is in, then I don't even know.
no, don't care.
But you're a doctor, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Mr. Taylor Waters.
This is why you get it wrong though, because you mix up the
I like
order.
to shake it up.
Keep them guessing.
Keep them guessing. Yeah. Who's going to be on the show this time? Oh, the same three.
And our special guest, these three.
Okay, today, weekend warriors.
Yeah.
Very, very, probably the most common thing that you'll see across the board with just everyone, because of how society is structured, where we typically work a Monday to Friday, you get the weekends off, and then you start again on Monday. What you typically find with people starting off with their nutrition plan, whether it's to lose weight, build muscle, whatever it is, adherence starts to decline as the week progresses, and then drastically declines over the weekend, only to then reset on a Monday. And then, it's almost like a downward staircase throughout the week. And then it, hopefully over time, you still net some kind of progress each week, but it seems to be the Friday, Saturday, Sunday is where people can really ruin their progress.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, this pertains to men and women, but I think the amount of damage a woman can do in 3 days is significantly more than a guy, with much less deviation.
Mm-hmm.
I think in general, guys will get more leeway, but that's purely from like a overall calorie intake standpoint, because they're generally bigger.
Yeah, we've sort of said that before. From an energy balance standpoint, there's less room for error as a female. Yeah. So it's easier, if you go off the rails, it's easier to undo the productive work that you've had.
Relatively, it's the same if you were doing like a percentage, but the actual number is much bigger for guys, just because their calorie needs are higher.
Yeah.
Women's maintenance calories are generally lower, aren't they?
Yeah. So what's like what would you say the typical routine is that you see? Like where I've said like Monday's good, Tuesday's good, Wednesday's good. Then what I typically see is like Wednesday, there tends to be a little bit of a dip. Thursday sometimes comes back up, but normally another slight dip. Friday, I would say a fairly decent dip. Saturday, bag of shit. And then Sunday, sometimes they try and salvage the Saturday, or it's on par with the Saturday, and then they start again on Monday.
I would say Monday to Thursday is like normally typically good. Friday and Saturday is blown out of the water. Sunday is either screw it, I'll start on Monday, or like you said, they'll wake up Sunday morning, it's like, oh, I gotta check.
I've got to check in.
1,000 calories.
Depends when they're checking days, isn't it? Yeah. If they're checking days at Wednesday, it'd be like, nah, stuff it. I got more time here.
So like, what do you think the cause of that is? Like I mentioned, like, people work Monday to Friday, so
routine is one thing.
I would say a lot of time it's the change in routine from the moment you clock off on a Friday. Like, say you work a 9 to 5, you clock off on a Friday night, and then your routine from then on till Monday morning is normally very, very different than your week when it comes to sleep, like when you wake up, when you eat, when you go to the gym. You probably have other obligations. Maybe you got kids, they got kids sports at the weekend, but it's almost like a separate plan. And so I think what can happen when you're in that situation, for say like you and me, we don't have kids, our weekends are very similar to our weeks in the routine sense, in that we probably get up around the same time. We don't have a lot of other obligations The only thing that changes is like our workload probably goes down a little bit. But we have quite a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, for example, you've got 3 kids. They've got sports at the weekend. You've got your workload has been replaced with family workload.
So the load is the same. It's just delegated in a different area.
So let's talk about like the actual like practical differences that you see. So when I say someone deviates from their plan, like Ryan, like what are the things that they deviate from?
So like the stress from work?
Oh, no, I mean like what's the, like they've got their calorie target and things like that. Like what seems to go out the window at the weekend, like practically speaking?
Oh, nutrition goes out the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. They always go over their targets on the weekend.
But it's quite often they don't track.
No, they don't track at all.
Like I saw one of my guys, I was showing him his graph, and over the past like 6 months, he's made very, very good progress. Over the last month, his graph has plateaued off. And I scroll back through his nutrition graphs, and it was like normally Monday to Thursday, sometimes Friday, all tracked. Saturday, Sunday, blank. Next week, blank. Next week, blank. And it's like every weekend was blank. Nothing was being logged. And it's like, so what we've seen is your weight has gone down and then it's plateaued. Since it's been plateauing, we can see your weekends, boom, 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 untracked. So it's very easy to see what's happening here is you're going untracked on the weekend, you're eating whatever you want. That's undoing the productive work you're doing through the week, and you're leveling out at the maintenance mark.
Yeah. I would say nutrition is the main thing. Do you know something I don't see often that goes out the window, though? Is their steps. It's almost like they still keep up with their steps. Normally, with my clients, we don't really have workouts on the weekend. We get them done in the
Sometimes
week.
they're even more active at the weekend.
Which is strange, though, because sometimes it's like, why do you put your training at the time where you've got the most commitments during the working week?
Yeah.
And then when you've got more free time, you're like, oh, no, it's done then.
Yeah. So like I would say nutrition is definitely the main one.
The biggest one.
The implementation of alcohol on the weekend.
Yeah.
Which kind of factors into poor decision making when it comes to the food.
It's almost like structure goes and mindset changes. I think those are the 2 key things. Structure, obviously, you wake up at different times, you go to bed at different times. You don't have the same routines during the weekend. Your weekends are generally a lot more reactive than they are proactive during the week. So it's very much just moving around, getting food on the go, seeing what's available at like the time. And you've got other things that are taking your attention from your nutrition. And then the mindset of, I'm here to relax, I'm here to de-stress, I'm here to unwind, I'm here to enjoy. So those 2 things switch together. It ends up being an absolute shit show.
The mindset one is huge. Like think about how many people they'll de-stress with alcohol from like their week's work. It's almost like, oh God, I'm going to reward myself. I need it. I need this wine today.
Reward is a good word.
Yeah,
like,
reward.
You know,
I've earned this.
I deserve a break because I've been so good during the week. That's kind of one. Or I've worked so hard during the week, like I deserve a break, or I've earned a break. That's a big one. I think the other one, typically during the week, people are very structured with their meals, just from like an efficiency standpoint, and maybe they prep their food Monday to Friday. There's no meal prep at the weekend, and you know we always talk about environment where if you have your meals prepped and ready to go in the fridge, you're far more likely to eat those meals than wing it and still hit your plan. Whereas you know the fridge is a bit bare, you know, when it comes to
food shop on Sunday,
and you do the food shop on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I think like you mentioned with your client, the practical implications of it are you're looking at what 35-40% of the week where you're not adhering to your plan.
I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday is 43% of the week. Isn't it?
Yeah, and
but also more important, because Friday, Saturday, Sunday are generally when people overconsume. If you looked at people's calorie intake, it'll be lower on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday anyway, and then it likely spikes up over the weekend. Yeah. So now when you weigh up the importance of that, it's actually worth more than 43% of your week. It's probably actually going to be more like 60% of your week, because it's like what you're doing is you're keeping tabs on the behaviors when they're actually they're okay. And then you're ignoring the times when is your actual overconsumption, where the real problems are.
Yeah.
So again, it's probably more like 65% of your week.
Yeah.
It's no different than like someone said that's like, say, binging in the evenings watching Netflix, but then they're saying, oh yeah, but my breakfast is great. It's like, oh, like 7 days a week I nail my breakfast. Like, yeah, but you're not You don't like, that's not the problem.
Yeah.
But the problem is the evening. So we
Yeah.
need to focus on the evening. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
for most people, the problem is the weekend. It's not, you're good as gold Monday to Thursday. We don't even need to look at that because you're in your normal work routine. You got your meals prepped. You like what you like. You know, you've got your shake in the morning, your chicken salad, your dinner's the same or whatever. And then the weekend comes around and it's, you know, a free for all.
Yeah.
And that's it as well. I'm not sure what you do on the weekend, Ben, but I know you have more flexibility on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I do as well. But again, like you said, you still monitor your behaviors just as much as you do like in the week.
Yeah.
To make sure that obviously you balance the books at the end of the week and it's not a free for all.
Because this is the thing, because we can look at it and say, well, how do we solve the problem if someone is deviating from their plan on the weekend? And you've got, like we always talk about, you've got the tactics, then you've got the mindset. And, you know, tactically speaking, we could look at it and say, well, let's look at our weekly calorie target or what we want to kind of nail on average. Can we pull some calories back during Monday to Thursday so we have that flexibility on the Friday and the Saturday, Sunday? That's a great tactical thing to implement if someone is competent with tracking. You know, if they don't have like binge eating or overeating tendencies, because if you make that the difference between Monday and Thursday too big, then they're going into the weekend overly hungry,
Ravenous.
which can lead to over. Even if you've given them an extra 500 calories a day, their brain's saying go eat 2,000, like an extra 2,000 every day. But the bigger problem is, I think that tactic is completely useless if their mindset is in the place of, oh, but I don't want to follow a plan on the weekend. And I think that's the thing that has to be addressed first is you need to treat the weekends with a similar effort to the beginning of the week. Like you can't just go in with zero effort.
Yeah.
Or like you said, you know, you're sabotaging yourself with like 60% of your progress. And it's because if the mindset's in the right place, you might not even need a change in the calories.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the calories count on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just as they do during the week. So it's having the conversation of like, you said it perfectly, like, what is it about the weekend that makes you not want to stick to your plan? Is it that you're feeling burnt out? Is it that you're feeling stressed, like you want to de-stress from work? Is it that you feel like you deserve something or you want to reward yourself? And then we look at each one of those things and say, well, if you want to reward yourself, like let's look at some things that don't contain calories that we can reward ourselves with. Like maybe go on a trip, like buy yourself some new clothes, like you still reward yourself, but with something different. If it's, I don't want to track my food because I do it all week and I hate doing it, then we could say, one, like, why do you hate it? And we can try and solve that problem.
Yeah.
But also we could say, well, okay, if you're not going to track, then we look at, well, what do you typically want to do at the weekend? Because we're overdoing it somewhere. Maybe we say, right, well, if you know you're going out for dinner on Saturday night, let's eat light during the day. Like, let's maybe do like 1 or 2 protein shakes during the day. Then you can enjoy your evening, have a couple of drinks. We keep the overall calories in check. And we try and put some kind of like barrier in there. As well.
It's like if you want to, so because sometimes you get to the point where it's like, I want to just let my hair down over the weekend and eat what I want, drink what I want, and I also want to get in shape.
Yeah.
It's like, now you're sort of asking a bit too much here. So maybe it's like, okay, well, you can get away with it to a degree. So it's how can we get as close as we can to the best of both? Because it's like at the end of the day, sometimes like some guys will get away with it up to a point. And then it's like, now we've realized that you can't get away with this anymore. So we're going to have to tighten up the weekend a tad.
We can basically lay it out like very plainly. It's like we've got 2 options. We can change behavior or adjust expectations.
Yeah.
And neither is right or wrong. If someone says like, I'll always, you know, deviate at the weekends because I'm always going to be like that, I'd say, cool. Like you're not a bad person for wanting to eat pizza and drink beer at the weekend. You know, I don't like beer, but like a lot of people do.
I tell you what, there was a couple of beers and pizzas on the stag, and I came back about 4 kilos up.
Yeah. So like it's like, well, if you do want to do that, then you can say, is it reasonable for you to want to do that or do that every week and still expect to get great results and be in great shape as if you were on your plan 100%? Probably not. So maybe we need to adjust that, because the frustration happens when reality doesn't meet expectations and they start getting annoyed by it. And so it's your job as a coach to say, well, like if we look at your behaviors and what you're doing versus what typical behaviors we would expect to see or what you probably need to do to see that result, and you're not doing it, can you see the discrepancy? And I think being a good coach is to not label any of that with like positives or negatives. It's like I think the goal of a coach is to always be very, very neutral. And you know what, your job is to like present information and then say like, doing these things will likely result in this, doing these things will likely result in that. Are you okay with that? Like, you can choose. You know, if someone says like, every weekend I'm going to go to a all-you-can-eat pizza competition, like, and I'm going to do that every single weekend, then I can say, cool, like, I can try and accommodate that the best I can. But I will tell you that people that don't enter pizza competitions every weekend, they probably get in shape faster than those that do. And I would never say like they will always, because there might be a guy that does a pizza competition at the weekend and then just doesn't eat during the week, and he stays in great shape.
And then like, runs marathons.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's like, you know, generally speaking, you're more likely going to get quicker results if you don't eat pizza every weekend. But I think by doing it that way, you're not making a client feel bad for the decisions that they're making. You're just showing them like what typically happens when you make those decisions. And are you okay with that?
And typically, like with weekend warriors, like, not to make the client feel bad when we present data, every week, like, they lose and gain the same 3 to 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog Day every day, isn't it? So you can say, look, like what we're doing right now, as you can see from your graphs, we're losing and gaining the same 5 pounds.
You've mastered maintenance.
You've mastered maintenance. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
If so, great, we'll keep on doing it. If not, then we got to change something.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's what you're willing to change.
Yeah, I think they find it hard as well because they've tied fun and relaxation so heavily to consumption. So it's like, again, like, you can have loads of fun and consume nothing.
Yeah.
Or you can have loads of fun and consume a boatload. But it's like they seem to only have this one avenue of fun, which is built around consuming. So it's like they won't watch sport, they won't, or it's like, I watch sport, but I don't really enjoy sport if I haven't got a big bowl of potato chips with me. And it's like, well, you need to find something that you find more fun that is not like, again, we can go to the gym and literally we can train and have a chat and socialize, and we're not consuming anything. But it's hard for some people when they've built a lifestyle that revolves so much around consumption. So now it's like, if you want to see better progress from a health and fitness standpoint, you've got to change the way you spend your social time. And if they've done that for 10 years, it can be tough.
Yeah. I think it's a really hard one when clients talk about like, you know, I deserve it because I followed my plan. And it's, you don't want to say to a client like, well, you don't deserve it. Like, no, you know, no one deserves anything. It's like you've made that up in your head, because it's almost like, well, okay, if you've got an employee that, you know, you've asked them to do certain tasks and they've done those tasks, and then they say every week, I've done those tasks, I want to raise, and you go, no, you've done what I've asked you to do. Like, you haven't done more than that. Like like, that's your job. That's what you need to keep doing. So it's that idea of like delayed gratification, that it's like, well, okay, if that person did their job really well for a year and then said, I think I want to raise, and you go, like, yeah, you know, they've been very, very consistent. Maybe that's a conversation you can have now. But I think people play like, you know, and even on the extreme, you'll have people that will say, well, I followed my plan yesterday. Like, why have I not dropped 2 pounds? Like, this is bullshit. I treated myself yesterday because the day before I was really, really good. And it's like, well, how long do you have to be quote unquote good for to like reward yourself with something? But also, you're rewarding yourself with something that directly conflicts the work that you've just done. So it's like building a card tower for ages, and it's like, I'm going to reward myself by smashing it, and then I'm going to rebuild it, and then I'm going to smash it again.
So you end up just spinning the wheels.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that's what builds the frustration with clients over time, because it's that Groundhog Week where it's you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And you know, maybe it's because in previous diets or whatever they've done, or, you know, other things they've done in their life, they've got the reward very, very quick, and this is a lot slower, and they've have to accept, like, I have to work for longer to get the reward. I don't get to treat myself that often. Otherwise I don't get it.
And that's it. Like, I'll say to clients, like, if you feel you've done a good job, reward yourself, but reward yourself in a way that like treats you well. Like, look at all the other things that you like to do that like don't involve calories,
Mm-hmm.
And then pick one of those. Like, I know, go and get a massage or buy yourself some clothes.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to like drink alcohol, eat food, etc. It's like, reward yourself, celebrate the wins, but reward it in a way that treats you well.
And
You
it's
know?
like and the frustration part as well is like, you know, if someone get paid, they get paid a salary and they spend a certain amount of money every month and they want to save more money, and you say to them like, right, well, you've got two options. You can work more hours to make more money and keep your spending the same, or you can spend less. And they go, no, I'm not doing a budget. Like I'm going to keep spending, and I don't want to work more. It's like, right, so tell me where this extra money is going to come from.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the nutrition, where it's like you're on it for this, you know, Monday to Thursday, you go off at the weekend. I'm telling you, you know, if you want a different result, you're probably gonna have to make a change. You're like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Then I go, well, you don't get the change then.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be okay with that.
That's that frustration, isn't it? It's the trying to come to the solution of, I'm not willing to let go of this, but I want this to change.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the easiest way to solve that problem is to let go of the outcome and be like, look, I've come to the realization that I'm not willing to do the work that is necessary to get the job done. So I'll just leave that go, and I'll continue living this lifestyle that I like. And again, that's fine. As like we said, there's no positive and negative there, but there's going to have to be a shift somewhat, a shift in mindset somewhat, if you still want to continue making progress with your fitness, but also you got to manage the weekends better.
We've had some clients with that thought they wanted to get leaner, and they realized
what
that
it actually takes.
What it actually takes is not worth it. It's like, great, this is actually a positive outcome that you've realized and accepted responsibility for. You know, so whereas like a lot of clients, they'll just keep trying to like battle this frustration.
Like our job's to make you happy with where you are in your health and fitness, and by coming to that solution, you're now happy with your health and fitness, because what you want and what you're willing to do, they've matched up, and you're like, okay, I'm good now. I'm level. The frustration is when what you want and what you're willing to do are skewed pretty heavily.
The other thing to factor in as well is like the magnitude of the deviation, because another thing which people will say is like, oh, I've been on my plan every day this week. I just had one meal on Saturday that was off my plan. But then you look at what that meal was, and it was like 10 Texas Roadhouse rolls, massive steak, 3 desserts, and then they got Cheesecake Factory on the way home. And you're like, that one meal just blew out your calorie deficit for the week. Versus you could have someone that, quote unquote, deviates from their plan every day, but by 50 calories. And it's like, well, okay, you factor that in across the week. You've gone over your calories total by 350. Versus the guy that's like, I've nailed my numbers to the point, apart from Saturday evening where I had a large pizza and, you know, a dozen donuts. It's like, yeah, but you ate an extra 5,000 calories.
Yeah,
like
you've done it.
You average that out across, you know, each day, and it's like you've nearly gone over your daily calorie targets by like 1,000 calories. And so it's this is where the difference between men and women is, because when you have couples that say they're both on a diet, and then every Saturday the bloke gets a pizza, and she's like, well, I want a treat as well. I'm going to get a pizza. For him, that might be like 15, 20% more than his daily calorie target or whatever. For her, it's 70%. And it's or like you've doubled your calorie intake that day. That's going to have a way bigger effect on your body than with the guy. And so normally if you're lucky with some guys, they'll say take 3 steps forward during the week and 1.5 to 2 steps back at the weekend. They still net a step, like they still net movement in the right direction. For a lot of women, it can be they nail everything. They take 3 steps forward. They take 3.5 steps back at the weekend. And now they're having to make up, like they do another 3 steps, but now they're only 2.5 steps forward. They take another 3.5 steps back, and they get really annoyed, and they're like, but I'm so good. Like I'm so good with my plan every day. And it's like, but that one day is you're running back to the start line and then some every time. And it sucks. Like women absolutely have it harder than men when it comes to changing body composition, period. But there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Like you can say, woe is me. It sucks that my partner gets to eat twice as much and he can eat cake and not get fat and stuff. And it's like, yeah. And
because he's bigger.
Like, it's like, that's just they're the cards that you dealt. Like that's like me going, it's not fair. Every time we go out to eat, Ryan can eat twice as much as me and not gain any weight, but I gain 3 pounds. Like it's bullshit. I can go, and
What are you going to do
Like,
about
what are you
it?
going to do about it? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do about my metabolism or my genetic makeup. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. No different than me looking at Phil Heath going, why are his arms so big? I train arms harder than him. My arms aren't that big.
Yeah,
That sucks. Like,
some say you train harder.
yeah. And it's like, well, what you can either keep doing what you're doing, you know, and keep trying, or give up.
Yeah.
Like that's your options. And to say like, oh no, I stopped my diet because I just didn't think it was fair. Like, I didn't think it was fair that I had to work harder than other people. But it's like, fuck me. Like,
Life's not fair.
There's people that have higher IQs than other people.
Yeah.
And they have to work way less to solve a problem than someone that has to use a calculator because they suck at maths. But it's like, sorry, you weren't that good at math because, like, either genetically or you haven't put in enough time to get good at it. Like, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of, like, sometimes it can be a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. You know, for guys that want to be big, but genetically they just not. And, you know, for women that want to be, you know, 5'2" and super lean, but they're 5'8", and it's like, and they're bigger. It's like you can't take away height. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like it like, and sometimes that can take a long time to reconcile.
Yeah.
Like, when you really want something so bad, and it's like, you're 5'10" and white, you're not going to make it to the NBA. Like, I'm sorry.
I remember Jess, so my fiance, when, like, she was training, she had these body comp goals that she wanted, and she was always looking at like 5'2" dumpy girls, and like they always have these like thick legs, thick glutes, and it's like she was always looking at these, being like, oh, you know, I quite like that sort of structure. And I'm looking, I'm like, and then we came to conclusions like, Jess, you're like 5'7" and like a real slim build. Like, the amount of muscle you would have to accumulate to be dumpy.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to be like 78 kegs. You have to be 78 kilos. You have to be, you know, you have to be 170, 180 pounds. Like, where actually you're like 50 kilos.
And you're probably going to have to get a bit fat for a bit of time to build that muscle.
For a lot, especially with that naturally slim build.
And it's going
as
to
well.
feel really uncomfortable for a couple years. Like, is it going to be worth it to you?
Yeah.
Like,
and then the easiest solution to the problem, she was like, I actually now just look at girls who've got my build.
yeah.
And who train, and it's like, now I'm like, oh, that's much more relatable, because you're almost looking like, you can't be 5'2". Like, if you took Jess's muscle and stuck it on someone who's 5'2", like,
Probably
she would
pretty
probably
good.
be a
Yeah.
bit dumpy as well.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's
And that's like, you know, guys that want to look like certain bodybuilders, like the average height of a bodybuilder is like 5'6".
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you're over 6 foot, it's like, you're probably not going to look as wide as you are tall.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's like, sorry. But equally, those guys might look at you and be like, I wish I had that, like, tall NFL build. And it's like, you're never going to have that.
Yeah, no matter how many squats you do.
Yeah.
You just got to play the best hand with the cards you've been dealt, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I think from a tactical standpoint, because I'm someone who, you know, you could put me in the weekend warrior category.
I
if you
am
want.
in the weekend warrior.
Yeah, you could, like, I definitely consume more over a weekend than I do during the week. So, and I'm able to make progress doing that. And I guess I'll speak for myself here, is what I've found works really well for me is the strategy of starting my tracking week on a Friday. So I take my weekly total and I start tracking on a Friday, as in that's when it starts. So say now my intake is like 2,100 for the week. Say I'm on 3,000 a day. I might go on the Friday, I might have 3,500. On the Saturday, I might have 3,007. And on the Sunday, I might have 3,002. So I've overconsumed 3 days in a row there. What was it? I was 500, 700, 200 over.
Yeah.
But then what I do is I take what's left of the 2,100 and I'll divide it by Monday to Thursday. And then that's what I've got left. So it's like the pauper has come to collect his payment. It's like I've had too much calories, and he's come and be like, right, you got to pay up now. And then on Sunday I go in and I'm like, oh, it's been a heavy one this weekend. I'm down to 2.2 now. So Monday to Thursday I'm down to 2. So I pay the price back. So I'm always in arrears, almost chasing it back. But at least then I'm able. But I'm making an informed decision as well. Like, I can have, if you, like, when you say, oh, do you want to go for a pizza? I'm like, yeah, I can go. Am I willing to pay it back during Monday to Thursday? Because I'm going to have to pay it back. Or I can just say, I'm not going to make progress this week. Yeah. So it's still an informed decision. So, but by being able to take control over the intake, use that to make informed decisions, I then cater for it during the week, I can then progress with my body composition goals and still do some of the things that I like to do. Now, can I really overindulge and still make the progress? No, not necessarily. But I can still make a pretty good shift of it. And it's like, and also the better you get at sustaining a lower calorie diet, the better ability you'll have to go over as well. Like if you're a really good saver, you can be a really good spender. If you're not great at saving, you can't be a great spender either.
Yeah, I do something similar, but I go Monday to Thursday, then whatever's left, I'll spend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's just proactive versus
proactive and reactive.
Yeah.
But I think the two, or like the thing to add to that with both of you is that you do it with very little emotion. There's no, because you both have very good relationships with food, and I wouldn't use that for someone that has a history of binging or any, even like your awareness in terms of scale fluctuations and being okay with the scale going up and understanding why it's gone up. And when you're working with a brand new client, they're like, I've gained 7 pounds this weekend. Like I've ruined all my progress. And we know, like, it's just water weight, mate. Like we've looked at your average calorie intake. It's all good. It's going to come back down. But, for women, especially, like those big fluxes freak them out. And that can almost create like a binging disorder where they almost take it to the extreme where it's like 500 calories Monday to Thursday. And then I eat as much as I can on these 3 free days. Whereas you guys are kind of doing it a bit more subtly. And it's like, and then equally, if you get to the weekend, you're like, well, I don't have to eat loads of food if I don't want to. Like maybe you're like, you know what, I'm just going to get a bit more fat loss this week and I've got no plans for the weekend. I might cook from home, maybe go over by like 1,000 calories and that's it. And or if you are in a fat loss phase, you're like, I don't feel that hungry. I'm going to take the extra progress. But I think you're able to auto regulate it a lot more because you're experienced. Whereas with a brand new client, like my first goal before even giving them like a bit of flexibility on the weekends is like, I just want to see if you can stick to something for 7 days straight. Like, and then once we've got that down, if we start seeing a pattern of wanting to go over on the weekends, then maybe we do put an adjustment in, but I'm going to put some boundaries on it. Say like, you can't pull your calories lower than X during the week.
You have a range, isn't it? 500 plus or minus. So you get some flexibility.
Context is king, isn't it? Again, like what we spoke about previously, it's like the right tool for the right job with the right person.
Well, look, that tool that I just used there is the same person, same tool. If you had given that to me post-show, where my relationship with food was a lot more sketchy, well then that would have been an absolute nightmare. I would never have been able to do it. So it's like you have to again look at what's the current scenario with that individual and does this tool apply to them? And as of right now, the tool does work really well.
I think,
but there are certain circumstances where it
and even for like for fat loss phases, I think it works well to an extent. And then most people will get to the point that they'll be like, it's not worth me putting my calories down during the week because I feel like shit. I would rather just have them a bit more even so I can make it through the week, and then I'm just going to have to accept that I have to pull back at weekends. As a maintenance strategy, I think it's awesome because I think it just offers the most flexibility. And again, it doesn't have to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like maybe you travel for work on Mondays and Tuesdays, and it's like that's when you go out for your dinner meetings with your with your team and stuff, and that's when you tend to overindulge. And it's like, cool, have those 2 days, but you can be a lot more flexible with the calorie intake. But I think your body always loves routine, and the more you could live like a robot, the more predictable things are, in terms of food choices, sodium, water, like just all like sleep quality, all of that stuff. But then we have to consider that we're humans as well, and we like things, we have emotions, and we like to. One of the things which I enjoy the most is going for brunch with everyone. And so it's like, I'll factor that into my plan because to me, that's I'm never going to give that up. Like, and if that means I have to eat less the day before or eat less that day, so be it. Cause I value that thing. Whereas if it was, I've been eating cheesecake Saturday nights and now my calories have gone low enough that I probably can't have that. It's like, I don't need cheesecake every Saturday. Like I like it, but I don't need it every weekend. Maybe once a month I'll do it or something.
It's funny you should say the high days shouldn't be on the weekend. So I remember when I was doing the bodybuilding show, I'd have like 2 high days a week, and I would put one on a Wednesday and one on a Saturday. Because in my head, mentally, I've got 2 days, then I got a high day.
I like a midday pick me up.
It'll be like it'll like break the week up shorter, and that worked really well for me. Now No, like always the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, because again, I'm not in the depths of like 2 weeks out from a bodybuilding show.
It's not like survival mode.
It's not like survival. But then, like, if I split up the week in halves, that worked tremendously.
Yeah, I love the Wednesday Saturday split. That's what I did for my preps. But then again, like now, maybe you like if you're in a prep and you've got Wednesdays and Saturdays, you're religious with those 2 days. But then with now, just with life, it's like, well, maybe I'm going out for dinner on a Friday, not a Saturday. It's like, oh no, like my high, like now I'm gonna have to eat nothing when I go out, but then I'm gonna eat my high day on a Saturday. It's like, just move the day.
Just move the day.
And so you can like flexibility, like it has to be preceded with structure.
Yeah.
Like the more structure you learn and the skills that you build, then you can be more flexible. Like I could give you like your weekly calorie target is this. Do what the fuck you want, and I trust you with that. If I give that to a brand new client, like that's not teaching them anything. That's a shit show. And so as you learn those skills, you can be more flexible with weekends and stuff. And again, like the whole thing that we try and emphasize with clients is like we're trying to like change your identity, you know, to be the person that you want to become, you know, which is, you know, fit, healthy, full control over, you know, doing what you want when you want, not being peer pressured, eating how you want to eat. And a lot of times the urge to deviate at weekends, you just don't have it as much because you're like, well, I know this isn't conducive to my goals, and I've become someone now that likes to achieve their goals, and I like to put effort into these things. And so, yeah, maybe, you know, if it's a special occasion, you might indulge, but other than that, you're just gonna, you know, stick to your plan because you've seen what happens when you do it. You've got some evidence of it now. Whereas when you're starting out, you know, and you're in that skinny fat stage of a diet and you're like, I've not seen any return on my investment yet. Like that pizza's looking pretty damn good.
That's another thing you can do as well. You know, like when you got these weekend warriors, like change the question that you ask yourself. Like, oh, how do I unwind from the week? You can change it to, how do I use the weekend to support my future self?
Yeah.
Change the question you ask yourself.
Yeah.
And then long term, it's like, well, how do I set up my week so I don't end my week stressed to fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, how about I learn stress management to be more effective during the week? So I'm not just waiting for Friday, you know, for the bell to go where I can then switch off. It's like long term, it's like maybe I'm not in a career that I want to be in.
Yeah.
And I would prefer to have a job that I don't wait for Friday every single week. And, you know, by no, again, like I hate the people that are like, you know, take the trip, take the chance. And it's like, no, I've got kids to feed. Like I can't do that right now. But like long-term strategy, like those are things to consider.
Can I
like,
make moves?
Are you in an environment during the week that is like adding to your life or is taking away from your life? Like, do the pros outweigh the cons? And if it's, you know, if it's the wrong way around, then maybe look at changing that environment.
Create the life you don't want to run from.
Yeah.
We might take booze for an example. Like some people they think about booze as a way to tolerate the week that they've just had. But then I have no relationship with booze really. You could have second guessed that the other week, but it's like I think of it more like I know what booze does to my upcoming week. If I drink over a weekend, my week is so much harder. So it's like, it's the same thing as you're drinking on a weekend, but it's like, well, some people will use it to tolerate the week that they've just had. I'm like, well, no, because it makes my life hell during the week.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the same behavior, different mindset.
Yeah. And that goes to the two questions I just said. Someone will say, how do I unwind from the previous week, drink alcohol? Another person will say, well, how do I use the weekend to support my upcoming week? I'm not going to drink alcohol then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meal prep and I'm gonna get things ready so my next week's even easier.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so use the weekends to your advantage, not to take away from.
I'm going to train Saturday, Sunday to ensure that I haven't got more commitments during this already busy week, rather than trying to save all my sessions for when I'm working.
Yeah. So I think, you know, in summary, it's not that those behaviors are good or bad. You just have to align your behaviors with your expectations and what you're willing to do or not do. But, you know, one of the tactics can be adjusting those weekly calories to accommodate the weekend, but more so it's going to be that mindset of, you know, if you really want to achieve those higher level results, something is probably going to have to give, you know, at the weekend. It's just a question of if you're willing to do it or not. But I would say it's worth just doing an analysis of your Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the moment, and just look at it like, is it helping you or hurting you right now? And if it's hurting you, are you willing to change some of those things? And it could skyrocket your results. You know, like you were saying, I would say even though that takes up like 43% of the week, it's 90% of the game. Like
Yeah.
if you can nail your plan Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the rest of the week is cake.
Yeah.
And so it's just focus on those days more so than the rest of the week, and the rest will fall into place. Awesome, guys. Thank you as always. Please be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, and we'll see you next time.
If you love this show, please like, share, and leave us a 5-star review so that we can help more people. I'm John Madsen, reminding you to always go get what's yours.